Hi, I'm Joe Connolly. I want you to meet Aaron Foss, whose business illustrates two key points. First, you solve a problem for people, and second, then you never know where that business will take you. Aaron founded Nomorobo, which stands for No More Robo or Telemarketer Calls.
I started the company, it was just me. I was the only guy. It got started because the FTC ran a robocall challenge. They basically said, can anybody solve this robocall problem? I had a really unique way of doing it. I'm a programmer with an MBA, so I was able to take the business side and the technical side, and then in 3 years I've built up a full team. We got 7 other people that are working on this on the technical side, on the customer support side, on the carrier side, and the sales side.
So you, the boss, will send them an email or a text, fix step 3, and it happens.
That's exactly. So we're actually a completely remote team also. So we don't even have, we're not all located in the same office. And having that communication channel of, customer support will see a issue coming up, communicate it to either me or the team, right? I'll go and coordinate with the technical people, say, here's what's going on. What do you think the best way to fix it is, working with the designers, and then ultimately having a better product.
Tell us what Nomorobo is.
Sure. So Nomorobo blocks all of those annoying robocalls and telemarketers from ever getting to your phone. So, they're usually calling during dinner, right? They're, the IRS is coming to arrest you, or you've won a free cruise, right? This is like the scourge of modern society. It's as bad as like email spam used to be. And Nomorobo completely eliminates that.
So you have superseded the no-call list.
Correct. So the do not call list was actually created to solve kind of a different problem. That was back, over a decade ago, and legitimate companies were doing this new thing called telemarketing. So American Express might call around and try and get you to get their new credit card, or American Airlines might try and say, hey, fly on us instead of Delta. But over the last couple of years, we all have all these free minutes and called VoIP, right? All these VoIP carriers that make long distance free also enables scammers to just go and blast out millions of calls and try and scam people.
That's interesting. So the do not call list was actually for what I might now call more respectable companies.
That's a great way of thinking about it. And again, just like iterating, it was a great first shot back when it came out, but the technology blew past the regulatory agencies.
So what does Nomorobo do?
Sure. So it seems simple, right? You do a couple of steps, takes just a couple of minutes, and you're set. What winds up happening then is that Nomorobo is able to see who's calling you and hang up the phone on your behalf. It's like Nomorobo is sitting in your kitchen and looking at who's calling, and if it's a robocall, it jumps in and hangs up the phone for you.
How do they know it's a robocall?
The technology that we have, the algorithms that I wrote that won the FTC competition, are looking at literally millions of calls every day to find we call high-frequency calling patterns. So for instance, like if you call a friend, you might call them like 10 times during the day, or a coworker or something. That is not going to trigger the detection algorithm. Somebody who is, trying to do an IRS scam and is calling, 1,000 numbers in the span of maybe an hour or two, that's going to go and trip that tripwire, and then it's going to get on the blacklist.
How do you know that a friend from work who's never called me is calling me now?
Sure. So we have over 850,000 people that are using the service every day, and we built what in the security field it's called a honeypot. So we went and bought over 250,000 old phone numbers that are out of service but are still getting called by these robocallers. And so those two pieces of data get us to 98% accuracy. And then to get a little bit further, that's when the humans have to come in and say, hey, you missed this one, or this one, like a school, a fire department. We have to make sure that we're allowing the good robocalls to come through, and everybody that has Nomorobo is helping make the system better.
So if someone from work is trying to call me and would I know that Nomo had deflected them or something? How would I know?
That's the best part, is that for both for the caller and the callee, it appears that nothing has changed, right? We're only going and answering the illegal, unwanted, scammy robocallers and hanging up on them for you.
How much does it cost?
So on the landline side, it's free. So the carriers actually pay for us to offer this service. On the mobile side, there's a free 30-day trial, and then it's $2 a month after it.
Hold the phone, no pun intended. The carriers pay you to block phone calls for a service that you give away for free.
Correct. And when
Explain this business model.
Well, think about it from the carrier's point of view, right? Everybody's getting rid of their landlines, and they make a lot of money by having those landlines. And why do people get rid of it? Because they're going over to mobile, and the only people that call on that landline are telemarketers and robocallers. So by having Nomorobo on and paying, very small amount, they're actually saving all of that revenue by having people keep their landlines.
How did you discover that, or did they find you?
It's the exact same process. I did not know about this on day one. I put the product out because I knew it solved the problem. And then I just started getting feedback from the carriers, from the consumers. When we started running the data, some carriers are telling us that over 25% of the people are signing up for it. And then those retention rates, right, the people that are keeping their phone lines are just through the roof. And this all means more money for the carriers and a better experience for the consumer.
So what happened one day? Did somebody say, Aaron, it's AT&T for you on the phone?
Almost exactly. It was 2 years ago. The first call was from Time Warner right here in the city. One of the senior VPs, he had heard about it, and he said, I think that this is great. Let's go and integrate it. A couple of months later, literally, so here in New York City, you log in your Time Warner control panel, you click the button that says Nomorobo, and you're set. You're done.
And their interest is in you're not getting so angry that you cut the landline.
That's exactly it.